here on the Korvet 50, where we did the lithium system, 48 volt with MG batteries. We've got 6 of the 305 amp hour batteries on board. The owner originally wanted just 4 batteries, but once we kind of figured out the location, we could easily add an extra 2. So we chatted to him. He decided, let's go ahead and add that additional capacity. So we've got the 48 volt MG 305 amp hour lithium battery bank set up. We also installed a Termodinamica Air Conditioning System on the boat with 4 air handlers. And we also have installed the Integrel alternator or on-engine generator system on the vessel to charge up that 48 volt bank super quickly when the owner is motoring. Given it's a power boat, you know, if you're running the engines, you might as well be charging your batteries as efficiently as possible. So that Integrel system does an amazing job of that. So if you take a look over here, just as one example, we have one of our Termodinamica Air Handlers is installed just in that locker over there. We have a second one up here in the salon, so we got 2 24,000 BTU air handlers for the salon area, and then we have an 18,000 in the forward V berth area to cool down the berth area over there, and then we also have an 18,000 BTU in the aft berth area. So really efficient system on this boat. When it's full cranking, we can cool this boat down into the high 60s pretty rapidly. So this boat is full off-grid and can be run with just the batteries and the inverters. And that's exactly what the owner wanted, an off-grid option here, so he's not running his generator. He actually removed his generator, and that was one of the reasons he decided to go this route, is because his generator failed. Got rid of it and was like, you know what, I don't want to put a generator back in this boat, and hence the decision to go with the 48 volt lithium system upgrade, the Integrels, those on-engine generators, to basically replace a generator on board. And since he was going with the full upgrade, hey, might as well do the Termodinamica at the same time to make the batteries last that much longer, given the efficiency of the Termodinamica air conditioning system. So over here is kind of the main control section on the boat now, with all the displays associated to the equipment that's been installed. So top right over here we have the Termodinamica control system, and this is where you can control all the air handlers right off of this one screen. There are then dedicated screens in each berth, one in the aft berth, one in the forward berth, and then this unit can control the 2 units in the salon. Very user friendly, you know, just touch and pull. That'll change the fan speed. You're going to hear it ramp up here in a second. There it goes. And wow, this stuff, it blows hard and it blows cold, so pretty impressive system. Let's turn that down. It's going to get a little loud while we're talking here. Over here then we have, the boat did come originally with a C-zone system, digital distribution system on board. I believe that was installed by the factory. Maz Ocean do C-zone, so you know, we've done C-zone systems from scratch. We've replaced C-zone systems during lightning strikes, etc. So we have all the necessary tools and configuration equipment to, you know, make changes or help you out with your C-zone system, or install a completely new C-zone system. The boat originally had a Mastervolt system installed, so chargers, inverters, etc. We have maintained some of the Mastervolt equipment, some of the original equipment. We've maintained the original chargers. So this screen is just here to monitor the remaining Mastervolt equipment. Down here we have our MG display, basically specifically for the MG battery system and the BMS associated to those batteries. Hand in hand with that is our Victron servo system and the GX touch control screen. This is the GX touch, and this is just, you know, an overview of all the Victron equipment and the general battery status as well. And then lastly we have the Integrel screen. That system is currently turned off, so that screen's not going to power up, but that then would be the display to monitor and control your Integrel on-engine generators. We can go down to the engine room and take a look at where all the magic happened. All right, so this is where a lot of the equipment was installed. Pretty warm in here, but let's go inside and take a look. On the back wall are the Integrel controllers. So these are the on-engine generator. These are the main control units. And basically the Integrel alternators wire onto those, and then those wire directly into the MG BMS to charge up the MG lithium bank super fast. Really powerful system, does a very fast charge of your batteries. As this boat got a little interesting in terms of modifications required to get the integral alternators to fit. Maybe be able to see the one sitting down here. One of the last things we need to do, because we had to do additional modifications to the brackets, this unit over here is the integral on-engine generator, and we just need to do our final wire connections and final commissioning and testing, and then this boat is finished. Pretty cool system. We're doing a lot of these at the moment. Great way to charge up your 48-volt lithium bank on a boat, especially on power boats. You know, you're running your engines anyway, so you might as well use your engines to charge your batteries. So great upgrade for power boats. So these are the MG 305 amp hour lithium batteries. We had to build a custom shell for it. This is actually where the generator used to live. So since the generator got pulled off the boat after it failed, you know, we were thinking about installing these in another location, but you know, ultimately we had this space, and of course the boat was listing because of the weight change from the generator being removed. So it made a lot of sense to actually put our batteries here, and basically these have replaced the generator. So we took the location of the generator, converted it into the location for the batteries. So yeah, just a custom aluminum shelf for the batteries. Then if we kind of look over here, we have the BMS and our Autotransformer. So this is all brand new installation. As you can see, Maz Ocean really does a great job of wire management. We really make sure it looks factory, do it right, label it correctly, make it easy for anyone else in the future troubleshooting the system, that it's straightforward to get on board, read a label. We also provide drawings to the owners of the system, so they have a digital and printed out version of that for easy future troubleshooting. So yeah, as I said, that's your Autotransformer over there, and that is providing the 120 volts to the boat. And actually this boat came from Europe and had European outlets. Part of the project, the owner asked us to also convert all the outlets on board to US style 120 volt outlets. And then on the far left, we had to install a dedicated air conditioning breaker panel for the Termodinamica system. So that's there, and then you'll see the breakers for the Autotransformer. Then if you back off a little, this is the Termodinamica compressor. And that's basically what is running the air conditioning system on board and providing the necessary cooling to the air handlers so that they can cool down the boat nice and efficiently. Back in this closet here in the aft berth was where the original Mastervolt inverters were, and we pulled those units out. This is where we installed our Multiplus 2s, 48 volt, 5,000 watts each, and a little bit smaller footprint, which worked for us given the tight space here. We also have one of the Termodinamica Air Handlers installed in this location as well, and that's providing the cooling for this aft berth. We did have to make a few modifications to the distribution over here. So we added dedicated battery switches for the Inverter 1 and Inverter 2, which we just looked at, Multiplus 2s over there. We also had to add a main junction box for the control the breakers for those units, and we like to install a bypass system when we do these big lithium systems. So great little add-on so that you're never dead in the water if the inverter system were to fail for some reason. This is one of the outlets that we replaced. The owner wanted some USBs as well. So of course the original Euro outlets are larger than US style 120 volt outlets. So we do have a couple of blanks in here because the hole that was here for the original, I think it was dual Euro outlets and maybe 2 USBs. So, we had to fill the space, and we've got a couple of blanks. But yeah, pretty big project in the end, replacing all the outlets. Then we started having to replace all the switches to make everything match. But in the end, I think the owner's super happy with the conversion because, now he's full US in terms of his outlets. But of course, a couple of weird little issues we had is the fridge on board. You would generally think would be a 24 volt fridge, but once we started digging in and were doing the conversion, realized that it was a 230 volt 50 hertz fridge. So we ended up having to install a dedicated inverter just for the fridge to run on 230 volt 50 hertz. The boat had 2 alternators installed. Both of them were 24 volt alternators because the start bank and the house bank on the boat are 24 volts. But we had to remove one of the alternators to install the Integral on engine generator. So now we're only left with one original 24 volt alternator, which is a Mastervolt alternator with a Mastervolt regulator. But now of course, that was utilized to charge the house bank originally. So we needed some way to still charge the start battery bank. So we had to add in battery isolators to take that charge from that alternator and split it across to the start battery bank and the house battery bank. And those are installed under the stairs over here. All right, and that folds back, and on the wall over here are those two battery isolators that we had to install for that splitting the charge of the alternator to start batteries and original house batteries. And mentioned earlier was the inverter for the fridge that needed to be installed so that we could provide 230 volt 50 hertz to the fridge, and we're going to utilize that inverter for the extractor fan, the hood fan. So we're in the V-berth of the boat. This is where the owner actually sleeps. And over here we have one of the Termodinamica Air Handler controllers, so for temperature and fan speed. And right next to the bed, easy access for the owner to change temperatures. The first night he slept on the boat, he said it was amazing. He said it was so quiet. He had probably one of the best nights of sleep he's had in a long time. So that was pretty nice to hear that. So underneath there is a tight squeeze, but we had to fit one of the air handlers in that location. And that's then providing cool air to this forward V-berth. It also does duct out into the lower salon through another vent as well. So it's kind of dual purpose. So you've got a vent over here for this area, and then on the opposite side of the wall there's another vent to blow cold air utilizing this handler as well. So up in that corner over there is the vent. And the nice thing with this vent is it's actually able to be closed so that you can block the air and force it all into the V-berth. But if you want some of that air to end up in here, you can open it up and it allows it. One of the other things the owner requested was that we add this grill and additional vent into this area from the handler we looked at up here. Because that was only pushing air up into the upper salon, and he wanted to have that air also coming down into the lower salon as well. So we added this grill, had our carpenters varnish to match the wood on the boat, so everything looks original factory.